The creative process is as much about preparation and good habits as it is about moments of inspiration. Creative masters could schedule their 3-day work seriously and to get to it whether they're inspired or not. You too can cultivate creative habits that change your life, and here's how. So you want to build lesson habits that change your life? Well, you may enjoy sitting down on the couch each evening to watch comedy film or even play a video game, and now things are different. You will replace all habits with productive activities. You won't have as much free time as you used to. You must commit to spending some of your free hours alone in your room or studio, even if a boss or lover wants to know what you are doing. Are you prepared to sacrifice watching television, playing games, spending time on social media, reading treasure books, enjoying late night out, pursuing side projects that have nothing to do with your creative passion? Because when you sacrifice the non-essential parts of your day, you'll gain the momentum you need to progress your big ideas. Sacrifice the non-essential you have to sacrifice with the same thing that came up when you try to do your homework. Count it, write it down on a paper, and sacrifice it. Time your environment. If you're not in the habit of keeping creative schedule, you'll encounter mental resistance. When you try to do your work, go easy on yourself by setting up an office or studio with mental triggers. Remove anything from this environment that distracts. For example, television game console, you could even go as far as disconnecting internet access in advance. Willpower is finer resource, and you don't want to expand it, wrestling with distraction. Remove anything from your environment that has nothing to do with your big ideas. Leave visual clues about your work and ideas. Write notes to yourself each night about what to work on the next day. He want to say that if you don't have a creative schedule, replace it by set up an office or studio with mental triggers. The mental triggers are all what motivates you. And remove anything from this environment that distracts. I'll go with the same previous example. When you try to do your homework, there are many things that distract you. Count it, write it down, remove it. Ease yourself into it. To cultivate lasting creative habits, prepare your work in advance. This practice ensures starting work each day takes a minimum amount of effort. If you're writing a book chapter, for example, open the chapter on your computer, connect your headphones and key your writing music in advance. This way, open working each morning, you'll know what to do immediately without thinking about it. You can also ease yourself in by spending 10 or 15 minutes reviewing the previous day work, reading, doodling, or admiring the work of others who inspire you. Like stretches help an athlete warm up, this will help you to become more intimate with your ideas faster. Ease yourself into it. He wants you to take a rest, but without going out of the creative zone. So take a rest with all what's inspired you. Create space. Working on your big ideas can be messy. You need to clear space to create this mess in the first place. When you finish working for the day, reset your workspace and saw through what you're working on. Just as master or craftsman puts away his tools after work, you must study your desk or studio file, your notes, and reorganize everything. Then lay out the following day's work and ideas and the tools you need to before you go to bed. We already talked about setting up an office or studio, so you won't say in this point. Reset your workspace and saw through what you're working on. Okay. Reorganize everything. It's all about reset and reorganize your office or studio. Your space. The creative process is sometimes sloppy and disorganized. Both good ideas and bad ideas appear at unusual times, like 3:23. They arrive in unexpected places too, like in the shower. So you must be efficient about your routine. To do this, anticipate what you need and then arrange everything so it's to hand. Organize your tools and your supplies so that everything is in one place that you can easily access. Then check that you have everything you need, as pens, pencil, pens, paper, books, your notes. A firm resolve before you start working. You don't want to waste time looking for your notes, research or buying supplies online when you could be working on your big ideas. Arrange everything so it's to hand. Organize your tools and your supplies that everything is one place that you can easily access. You have to prepare yourself to work on your ideas that appear at unusual time whenever they appear. Okay, it became more effective. He recommends artists set a goal of painting their masterpiece by working 6 days a week. But what if this practice is too ambitious? Open your calendar, set a deadline for your creative project. 6 days a week, what is that? A full-time paid job. The deadlines. We already talked about the schedule, and it obviously includes the deadlines. Start with a schedule that suits your beginning circumstances. Your amateur starting. Then you can upload the intensity. Be careful with asking for help. If you can write for an hour today, sit down and write for 15 minutes. If you don't have enough energy to paint or write after work, try for just 5 minutes in the morning. If you are feeling anxious about mailing interview requests for documentary, just draft the email and gather the address you need. If you're a writer, turn up in front of the blank page or read the previous day's work. If you're a filmmaker, go to the set or your script and figure out how you're going to approach the next scene in a fresh way. You will make steady but determined progress towards your goal if you nudge your big ideas along in some small way each day. If you are feeling anxious about a mailing interview, we didn't reach that part. Not yet. Expose yourself to your creative environment, your tools, your studio. You wouldn't know the ideas came up just like that. Before I go to bed, I read a section of what I worked on the day. I hold this tonight in my mind for a few seconds before going to sleep. I do this because keeping an idea in my mind passes it over to my subconscious. When I wake the next morning, I try to remember what I dreamed. I write this down quickly before it disappears from my mind and before the demands of the day take over. If you are going to use this approach, hold an image of what you want to accomplish firmly in your mind. Before you drift to sleep, I should be something specific, like a particular section of your book or verse in song you're writing. This is an advanced level. It's kind of supernatural practice. But we can consider the useful parts from this video subconscious by this practice. Before you go to bed, put a part of your work in your mind. Spiritual text. Commit to your ideas. You can't count on creativity to appear at will. It takes months or even years to develop the mental resources. But here's the thing. Turning up every day Sends a signal to your subconscious that you're dedicated to the virgin canvas, the blank page, or your medium of choice. Commit to your ideas. Consider that your creative project is your main job, despite the job that remains keeping you alive. Every day think about it, do something about it. Expose yourself, commit to your ideas. Enough! It's over. Go to your families.